Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about the final game of a 3-game series, and the Dodgers. My lord, things are never easy with this team, but they win 6-5. They come back from a 5-3 deficit in the 8th inning. Michael Conforto, of all people, with the game-winning hit. Which, he did hit a ball hard that got to the warning track that I actually thought was going to get out. But, at least the last 2 at-bats, he looked good. But, also, Tanner Scott shut it down again. I'm not going to lie, man, I need to see at least another 2 outings of him being elite before he earns full trust back. He's earned some of my trust back with how he's looked lately. But with all this said, the last 2 outings have been really damn encouraging, and he's looked great. And his fastball's at like 98. He had a lot of 3-ball counts, but that fastball was up to 98. He was getting a lot of swing and miss on that fastball. Too many 3-ball counts for my liking, but loved what I saw from Tanner Scott. But Tanner Scott, good, great back-to-back outings, and one of them to clinch the game. Like, there's flaws with this team, but a good win, they just need to get healthy and be consistent. And I think Tanner Scott just went fastball heavy that inning because it was working. Hopefully he's back. But the other good thing is the Padres lost again, so our NL West lead is back to 2. But Tanner, I don't want to say it with Tanner Scott yet that he's fully back, but he's somewhat back. But give credit to the offense, man. They rallied after they trailed 4-0 after the top of the 3rd, but they rallied to score 3 in the bottom of the 3rd to make it a 4-3 game. They had some chances, tried to get some rallies going, but they were grounded to double plays or just couldn't get anything going. And I was getting a little bit frustrated because we cut the lead to 1, and he stayed there until the 8th inning, where Dave Roberts didn't have the best series. I didn't like leaving Urania out there. I thought you got what you could out of him. And then they intentionally walked Soto to face Pete Alonso, who's on fire right now, which wasn't a great decision. But honestly, Jack Dreyer and Urania were really good. Landon Knack, after 2 straight good starts, he has a pretty stinker today. He couldn't find the strike zone, and when he did, he was getting crushed, so. But they took him out. Jack Dreyer and Urania were great. They both went 2+ innings. Or Jack Dreyer went 2 innings, and Urania went 2+. The Mets did leave a lot of traffic on the bases. They left the bases loaded, I believe. They took out Knack after he allowed 2 on and Dreyer walks. I forgot who it was. And then the bases were loaded. You got a big strikeout on Pete Alonso. And then a pop-out, I believe, from McNeil. And then they had another inning where they had 2nd and 3rd, I believe. I believe it was McNeil. He struck out on a pitch Urania throw. And then they picked off Marte at 3rd. So those were 2 key instances where the Mets left a lot of traffic on the bases. But the Dodgers were also able to, hit off Reed Garrett. He also walked 2. Well, one of them was intentional, because Freddie Freeman, they walked him. Oh, how dare you walk him to get to Michael Conforto? But yeah, they actually hit off Reed Garrett, who's been really good this year. Honestly, I think he had under 1 ERA heading into this outing, so. And the defense also didn't help with Brett Beatty. He double clutches the ball at 3rd base. You just flush it on, you gotta move on to the Rockies, who you'll probably sweep. But Peterson had a great start. I mean, he had a bad 3rd inning, but it's the only bad inning he really had. I mean, you're not going to keep a great offense like this in check your whole outing. He gave up a few other hits, but he was able to race those, getting ground balls for double plays. And for the defense of Reed Garrett, he got the ground ball when he needed it, but Beatty flubbed it. He double clutched it. Just he made a routine play, just so difficult for no reason. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he could have got a strikeout. I don't know. He just didn't have his stuff whatsoever, though. But when you leave 13 runners on base and you go 2 for 10 with the runners in scoring position, and Brett Beatty makes an error in a crucial spot, then yeah. I mean, you can rag on Beatty there, but, you know, when you leave all those runners on base and you don't get the runners in scoring position, it's a bad error, though. Inexcusable error. I think these are 2 best teams. Well, the Cubs are up there in the National League. I say these are 2 of the 3 best teams. I think the Mets outplayed us in 6 of these 7 games we played, but they only leave with 4 wins. Even when we haven't played our best, we've won 3. But Reed Garrett definitely wasn't good, though. Probably really for the first time this season. But David Peterson had a great start. He goes 70s. Is this the only... I swear, the 2 times he's went like 7 innings have both been against the Dodgers. Go figure. Anyways, 7 hits and 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. A great start from Peterson. And struck out Ohtani to end his outing. He's really been spectacular this season in the Mets rotation. Just like their rotation's been this whole season. But for the Dodgers, Landon Knack was rough. 3.1 innings, 4 hits, 400 runs, 5 walks, 1 strikeout. So, all I'm gonna say is, when the playoffs start, I better not see him in the rotation, man. If everybody's healthy, he was just his last 2 starts were good, but then it's just really the lack of command, and when he get in the strike zone, just not good. Like, I just don't know. I mean, Tony Gonsolin wasn't really bad last night. That was more of the offense. Landon Knack just didn't have it today. And I don't know who's going to pitch tomorrow. It might be Wrobleski, honestly. If you're asking who I think it will be. But yeah, Landon Knack just didn't have it today. But Jake Dreyer comes in for 2 innings. 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Great work there from Jack Dreyer. His ERA over 34 and a third innings is 2.62, and among rookies with at least 30 innings pitched, that ERA is 4th best in the majors, and Ben Caspari's ranks 3rd. Like, these 2 have been great. And he hasn't gave up a home run this year either. I'm sure he will at some point. But, hey, still he hasn't given up one. Jose Urania goes 2.1 innings, 3 hits, 100 run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Besides that RBI single to Pete Alonso, we shouldn't have been pinching to Pete Alonso. But anyways, I thought he was good out there for 2.1 innings. Alex Vesia come on to finish the inning. 0.1 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts for Vesia, who's actually a winning pitcher. We really should have lost this series because they did not really play great at all. 1 inning, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts for Tanner Scott. Got 2 strikeouts in this outing. Another good outing from Tanner Scott. And the thing is, against Reed Garrett, he's pitched 26.2 innings with a 0.68 ERA. Entered down 5-3. We were down by 2 runs. Like, it wasn't like we were only down 1 run. We were down by 2. And then we got that leadoff walk, Will Smith doubles, and then a productive out by Teoscar Hernandez. I know he's been really cold at the plate. That was a productive out. They had an error that scored a run. They intentionally walked Freddie Conforto singles to win it. At least we got a split of this series. So yeah, that's what happened in the 8th inning to score the runs. And then the offense, I thought was good. I mean, the offense was good. 9 hits, 6 runs. They scored 3 in the 3rd and 3 in the 8th. They scored in 2 innings. They were able to get hits. It was just the double plays were really rally killers, but they come up clutch when they needed them. Ohtani was 2 for 4. He's really struggled against the Mets this year, but he went 2 for 4. David Peterson, I don't know what it is. He just can't hit David Peterson unless it's like singles. David Peterson's good though. Mookie Betts great game from him, 2 for 2. He walked twice, had an RBI, scored 2 runs. He was on base in every plate appearance he had today. So, great game from Mookie Betts. Also had that leadoff walk. Smith, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs from Smith. Teo, 0 for 4 in RBI to RBI ground out. Andy Paez, 1 for 4. Even the outs for Andy Paez are loud. And he made a great swing to even get that ball on the ground in the 8th inning. Edman was 1 for 4. Kike's 0 for 3. Freeman 0 for 0 in a walk. Conforto 1 for 4 in an RBI. And Rojas 0 for 3 in a walk. He actually started a rally with a walk. At least he did something. But yeah, Dodgers improved to 38-25. So gutsy win there. I think that's their 21st comeback win, if I'm not mistaken. And Mookie Betts reached base all 4 times. And the Conforto had a 0 for. And the other thing is, Conforto had a 0 for 30 straight with runners in scoring position, and he comes through today. So at least, hey, at least he won. At least he won us the game. That's all I care about. Against his former team, of all people. Michael Conforto comes through with something I never expected to hear this year. But them going 7-6 against the Mets, Guardians, Yankees, and Mets with this, how this pitching staff is right now, is good. But oh yeah, they get to play the Cardinals, the Padres, the Giants, and the Padres in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll get some bullpen guys back. Technically 9-7 if you count the Arizona series right before. But honestly, it's pretty good because they beat Cleveland 2 out of 3. They beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. They split with the Mets. Over 500, you'll take it. Not to mention the bats going cold sometimes on multiple occasions. All things considered, I think they've done a good job through this stretch. Well, Tanner Scott, I want to mention the 98 fastball and about 90 with the slider, 88, 89, 90. Keeping the fastball up, the slider down. He looked like Tanner Scott. You up that base hit, but he looks like the Tanner Scott I expected. Tanner Scott I saw last year in the playoffs. But yeah, we'll go over the Mets stats here. They had 11 hits for 5 runs. They scored 1 in the 2nd, 3 in that 3rd inning, 1 in the 8th. 11 hits, 5 runs, 1 error. They had that big error there in the 8th inning. They left a lot of runners on base, for, like I mentioned, the examples somewhere throughout this video. But I already mentioned David Peterson's stats, so I'm not going to go over them. Reed Garrett, 0.2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He really didn't have it today, and the defense with Beatty didn't help him. But he just didn't really have it today. He's been really good, just sometimes you don't have it out of the bullpen. And then Brandon Waddle comes out of the bullpen, 0.1 innings pitched. No hits, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, get the final batter. For the offense, Nemo 1 for 4, walk and RBI. Had a solo homer. Marte 3 for 4, walk and RBI. Also had a solo homer. They went back to back. Soto 0 for 3, 2 walks. Alonso 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, a solo homer and RBI single. McNeil 0 for 4 and a walk. Taylor 1 for 4 and a walk. Beatty 1 for 3 and a walk and an RBI. Alvarez 1 for 5 and Acuna 1 for 5. So yeah, Mets dropped to 39-24. Dodgers improved to 38-25. They went 6-5 to split the series. So top of the 2nd, Alonso homers. Top of the 3rd, Nemo and Marte each homer. Beatty sac fly. Bottom of the 3rd, Betts double. Smith single and a Teoscar grounder that scored a run. Top of the 8th, Alonso singles right. Bottom of the 8th, Smith singles. Paez is safe at first on the fielder's choice, plus the throwing error by Beatty, and Conforto singles to win it. So that's your scoring summary. 6-5 win over the Mets. So good series split. Both the games the Mets lost, they blew late in the game. We're going to go over the pitch matchups against the Cardinals, the pitching matchups for series starting tomorrow in St. Louis. 8:15 Eastern. It's going to be what I would think Justin Wrobleski against Sonny Gray. Saturday, Yoshinobu Yamamoto against Eric Fetty at 2:15. And then Sunday, it doesn't have a pitching matchup yet, but I'm sure we'll get one soon. So starting the series with the Cardinals tomorrow. Cardinals are a good team. This will probably be another tough series, and then we get the Padres after that. So, yeah, that's really got to say here. So, until next time, out. Peace.